It's another episode of Here for the Beer. You got the boy Trev, you got the boy Eli, it's your boy Mike. Come sponsor us here. You know we just here for the beer. Let's roll on in.
Let's do it.
We got Carlsberg.
Oh, I didn't even take. That's an accident, though. Green on green, yo. This is the same. That was an accident.
Oh, wait. Yo, give me 1 second.
Yeah, do your thing.
Yeah, I feel it Irish.
Since we're still alive, you know, might as well
175
shout out the
years.
Conley boys. Shout out all the tracks. Go listen to our projects.
Green,
We're just one short of 1 million. You can be that one.
Yeah, we actually are at 999,000.
That's us.
Okay.
175
bro.
years.
What are
Wow.
we drinking? 5%, so it's a lower percentage.
And
First
it's,
beer of the day.
Nice and cold.
Oh,
I want to say that.
Chad loves a cold beer.
Love it.
Wow.
Cheers. Open that beer, bro.
Just appreciating the
There you
label.
go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah,
It's your classic.
it's a beer.
Yeah, that's
That's why we're here.
Yeah, that's not really that.
That's about it.
That's not that good.
All right, what we drafting?
That's not really that good.
Do we got the draft music this time?
Oh, yeah, we do.
Hey.
No, we don't. No,
Okay.
we don't.
I got
Sorry.
it. Dun, 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 dun,
Boom,
dun,
boom.
dun,
Today
boom,
we are
boom.
drafting the best feeling.
Best feeling.
That's
Best
very-
feeling.
The number one pick is high in demand.
That's
So this is a
an
very
open-ended question.
It is.
Any way you can take it. All
Y'all ready?
So I think this is gonna be a big.
So you go sideways. That's your technique, eh? Okay.
I'm left-handed, yo. You guys don't even realize.
3, 2, 1, go.
Left hand.
Ready?
Dex.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, Rock loses every time.
All right.
First overall pick. What is the best feeling in the world?
I think I know what it might be, but you might not know it.
Yo,
I
you
don't
don't
know
know this feeling.
Yo, I got
When I
active
get
haters.
this feeling.
I'm on a win streak, so I got active haters. I want the fans to recognize that.
All right, so what you got?
With my first overall pick, it's gonna be a controversial one.
Yep.
Might not be the best feeling, but it's a great feeling.
Damn.
A road trip pee.
Wow. Honest to God, I'm so glad you picked
That
that.
was pretty whack.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Because think
there's
about,
only
that's
one
only for male.
unanimous.
First of all, that's only for males.
Yeah.
That could really take advantage of that.
too.
They don't.
Like
It's
you're
not
hol-
like
you're
a.
holding
It's
your
not like a
pee.
male pee.
Yeah, it's not like a
I
male pee
do
is like-
have that on my list. I will
You do,
say,
yeah?
yeah, I do. Like,
How
there's
deep
nothing
are you
better
guys
than like
going with
having
this?
to
Are you-
pee.
Are you like saying like falling in love? And shit
No,
like that?
not my number one pick.
That's pretty
bro.
nice.
My
That's
number
like
one
talking
pick
about
is
joke.
sexual intercourse.
Yeah,
That is
that's
the
a good
best
one.
feeling in the world.
Damn near. Same shit.
It's number one.
Yo, you
number
really
one.
gotta pee and you actually get to the bathroom and pee?
Yeah, no, I get
that feels
but,
like
but
nothing,
sometimes it
disrespectfully.
hurts.
I don't
bro.
wanna use that
If you
language
hold
on
it too long, that shit hurts, bro. You don't even get that feeling.
If you hold it too long, it hurts too. You know, like if you're not getting
okay.
satisfied
What
in your way,
else?
okay, that's all I'm just saying.
All
This is
right,
a clean PG-13.
Yeah, well, I'm going sexual intercourse for my first pick.
So I'm
All
gonna
right, I'm gonna go a good night's sleep in a comfy bed.
Okay.
It's a really good feeling.
Okay.
Just like with the pillows all around you.
SEX for Trev. And then Mike
A
said,
good night's sleep is very
good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Good
I'll tell you right
Yeah,
now,
in a comfy
like
bed. In a comfy bed.
night's
Yo,
sleep.
don't shorten
You
my
don't get a
answer.
sentence.
Yo,
Good
I
night's
can
sleep in
say
a
whatever
comfy
I
bed
want.
with warm tea.
In the holiday,
and
you
your
put
mom
something
your back,
alongside
and
you
your
and the
mom pick you
lo-fi
up in the
beats
morning, bring you to
on,
work.
you know?
Like, yo,
Good night's sleep in a comfy bed. But the comfy bed is
Okay,
important.
what?
bro.
Oh, good night's even a king size bed in a,
Yeah,
in a
literally
hotel
in
downtown.
in the
Bottle
Intercontinental.
service.
You already know. Or in the Fairmount.
I'm saying good night sleep.
In a comfy bed. If it's not
In
there, then I'm
bed,
changing.
in
No,
bed.
no. That's haterish.
Okay, I'm gonna go a little
The hate
deeper.
attitude. I'm not
This one's
loving
for the
it.
girls. Always, you know me, Mr. Feminist. Hugging someone you missed.
Ooh, that's a good feeling.
damn.
Warm. That's nice.
All right, go
Warm.
ahead.
Getting, I got a real
Okay.
long hug, you know? Hugging someone you missed and loved, and it's at the airport. You just had a great
This
vacation.
is a sentence though. I got a sentence for my
Bro.
second pick.
Do what you got to do, man.
All right. Doing well on a test that you didn't study for.
That feels
You know?
good. That feels good.
So I'm gonna say good grade, no study.
Yeah. Yeah.
No study. That's most of our tests.
Yeah, I'm gonna say finding money.
Ooh. Damn.
Finding money. Okay.
I like the ooh. This sounds good.
Yeah, that is a nice. Okay, this is kind of a jokes one, but catching something before it falls in front of people. like
That's
you know,
a whole
someone- and you're like,
sentence, bro.
Yeah.
Just say
and
catching
everyone's like,
something.
ooh.
just say catching something. Catching something.
No,
Bro.
why are you trying to take
Yo,
away my?
what-
Yo,
I thought there was no
okay,
sen-
then you just said good night's sleep. What
This guy, yo, catching something.
so catching something in front of your crush. Now she loves you and she wants to go on a date. That's the best. Catching something in front of people. I actually have the most sentence of people. Okay.
I have a full last sentence I'm gonna drop on you after that.
Trav, that's you.
Waking up with no alarm.
Oh yeah.
That's mid.
No, bro, that's a nice.
It's my turn.
You wake up
Because
early
you
no matter
never
what,
wake
yeah.
up.
That's mid. That's super mid.
Yep, no.
I got a sentence for all y'all. Putting on a warm pair of socks on a cold day.
Okay.
Like, you know when they're fresh
I'm
out
just
the
saying-
dryer?
I'm just saying
Okay.
socks.
Yo, that's
Okay.
nice. That is
Okay.
comfy.
There's no time when I'm not wearing socks, so it's like
But you know when you just get like a pair out of the dryer? Like, you might be wearing socks. When you get a pair out of the dryer, it's cold and you put them on your toes.
No,
you're
I
like,
never
I
go
said
straight
putting
from
on
the
socks
dryer
cold.
to
Really?
No,
Yo, you're
I always
missing
have a
out.
lot of socks.
you
on my-
should go straight from the dryer, bro.
I
Go straight from the dryer.
I do that
It's a
too.
game
I
changer. It's a
preheat
game
the socks
changer.
for sure. But I just said putting on socks.
That's not what I said.
On a
Cold day. It's about the feeling, bro. You got to create the atmosphere.
Yeah, you do actually have to kind of describe
already
it a
know.
little bit. Okay, I'm gonna go hitting a game winner.
That's a
Okay,
good feeling.
that's amazing.
Simple, straight to the point.
That's
no
like, that's
sentence.
making me
I don't know
every
how
day.
that hasn't been picked earlier.
Yeah,
I'm the type
actually,
of guy that
Because
I know,
it's
I know,
in any
I know stuff
sport.
goes over
It's
your
in
guys'
any
heads.
sport,
So I take
bro.
the stuff that you guys think about, and then I go and make my plays later in the game.
Damn,
Fourth quarter,
that's actually a good pick.
What you got?
I'm gonna go snow day.
Snow day. Okay.
That's hard, yeah.
That was like the best feeling.
I'm gonna go based on our last conversation. Listening to your favorite childhood song.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
What's yours?
What's mine? That's a good question. It'd probably be something from J. Cole on the warm up. Honestly, that I just feel like, ooh,
He was that cool back in the day.
Honestly, I love.
Mine's
Yo,
probably Chris Brown.
so shorty grab hold of my hand.
Let's pretend the flow.
You know.
I was like, it don't really dance.
Don't worry about it. We
You
just
just
one,
one,
two
two
step.
step.
One, two step.
Yeah, leave it at that.
That's good. That's good. But your votes, your pick's trash though.
I love the hate. Hold on, let me just because I'm
That was
writing
my pick,
paragraphs
though.
out
Shit.
here.
My pick's
4,
good.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's my pick. I'm gonna go with a hot shower.
Yeah, that's nice.
Simple.
Yeah.
It's a hot shower. Like people are just overlooking the little things.
What is this, number 5?
This
This
is
is
it.
5.
Shit.
It's my pick.
Yeah.
This is a close one. This is gonna be like.
You know the feeling stretching after you've been in the car for a long time. You know when you get out of the
yeah,
car
yeah,
and your
yeah.
legs
Just
shakes,
like,
your legs
yeah,
shakes.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
That's
I'm gonna
good.
say stretching after drive.
I'm gonna go with a 5-star meal.
Okay, money. I don't know what that's like.
Yo, just having like a really good meal.
Yeah,
like
that was one of my
that's a
picks
good
though.
feeling.
It's like the first bite after you're starving though.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Not
that's what I
just
said. That's
no,
what I said.
no.
That's
You
what I
said a 5
Yo,
course.
after a long day of not eating,
It's already written.
then you
5-star
take a
meal.
bite. Yo,
Five-star
no,
meal.
no.
That's a
no.
different
I
thing.
want,
said, yo.
I want the audience. I'm gonna put you in a position. You just have a 5-star meal, and now you're about to get the bill. That's the feeling. Mike
No.
described.
I'm saying
The
like,
cost
yo,
of a 5-star meal.
having a free
Associate that feeling
5-star
with
meal,
Michael's.
having a, like it's free. It was just given to you. Like someone else is paying for it. I need all that written down.
You know what we're gonna. You know what we're
I
gonna
don't see you
do.
writing though. I don't see you. Why is your
I'm not writing
your
any of
right-handed?
telling you,
Right-handed. Why is your
I
pen in your
cut all
left
of your
hand,
shit
bro?
short.
That's crazy. So you just catch something. You're just
Yeah.
catching something over there.
like this in front of everyone. They're like, "Yo, we just caught that."
Oh,
We got
man.
that.
Get your phone off the table. Like
That's
Man.
crazy how
The
Game
thing-
Winner
I'm
went
surprised
after that.
game winner.
Yeah, actually. I'm surprised that a massage was not there, like a good
Yeah,
massage.
that is a good feeling. though.
That is a good feeling.
All right, what do we got?
I can't believe I didn't take sex first overall.
That's
you're-
honestly
you're
the
pretty whack.
biggest. Like that's the
That's the
biggest
easiest
deal in
one.
the
But
draft.
I'm like more of a wholesome guy, you know. I'm not like dirty minded. Like, anyways,
I never clicked
You-
that.
you know
I
what
never
we should
handed
do?
in my answer faster, bro. What
Yeah,
sex
like,
is that?
sex. You know, this is what we should do though. After we go through our list, we're gonna like solidify it on the video, and then we're just gonna brainstorm good feelings. We're gonna have like a 1 minute,
Yeah.
just throw out some good ideas. Okay.
Okay.
So I had first overall pick. You know, I know what I'm doing. Road trip P.
Road trip P was first.
Yeah.
Hugging someone
Emmy's
you missed.
good, but
Hugging someone you missed.
that's a good one.
Catching something in front of people, like that's falling, diving, catch. Hitting a game winner.
specific.
That's an obvious one. Hot shower. Okay.
If
The
we
thing
did,
is,
if we
like,
did, if you did worse feelings, with dropping something in front of people.
Yes.
That's good. That's
Like, yo, look at my phone, catch. Everyone's like, oh, is it cracked? Is it cracked? And you're like, oh shit, that's a bad.
There's
deal.
nothing worse
That's
than
good.
there's nothing worse than someone being like, "Here, catch this," and then you're like, "No, I'll catch it. I'll catch it." Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure you can catch
They don't
this?
trust you. Yeah, that means you have a history of drugs.
Holy
and shit. They
shit.
don't trust you. You had second, Trav?
Yeah,
So Travi, good for
number one
someone.
pick
Sex. Yeah, he's a freak like
good
that.
for everyone.
Getting a good grade on a test and not studying.
It's
Yeah.
pretty nice.
Waking up without an alarm clock.
That's like peaceful,
Mid,
bro.
yeah,
That's
that's mid.
peaceful.
Snow day.
Good.
And
Oh
then-
my
What are you,
god.
6 years old?
Snow day, bro. You
Go to
don't remember
work.
snow day?
and then stretching after a long drive.
And that's nice, bro.
That's
The
very
leg
nice.
shake.
That is
That's
good.
Nice.
That leg shake.
That's getting
Yeah,
to stand
I know
up.
what you're talking about.
You're the driver. That's why you're saying that.
Yeah,
eh?
the driver
Yeah,
too.
the driver understands that.
Yeah.
The passenger, they're like, I'll
Stiff
sleep
back.
in the
They're
whole
already
time.
relaxed,
Yeah.
bro. Relax.
Like, I hate you.
So, Mike,
My best list so far.
I don't think so.
Of course.
A good night's sleep in a regular bed. No joke. A good night's sleep in a comfy bed.
Imagine being at the Fairmont for a second.
Okay, relax. Next bit. Good night's sleep in a regular bed. Finding money.
Ooh.
Like probably like
Just
$2,
found,
$3.
Like, $2 mil.
$3.
Just found $2 mil on the ground. That's nice.
Putting on socks on a cold day.
Warm.
Okay, I'll read this list properly.
Yeah,
The
hate it,
reread,
shit,
the
bro.
reading is not good. It's not helping.
I'll read
bro.
it properly. Okay, I'll read it properly. I'll give that. So Michael, this for the edit. Michael with the third overall pick had a good night's sleep in a comfortable bed, finding money on the ground,
No.
putting on warm socks on a cold day, listening to your favorite childhood song, and a 5-star meal, very expensive 5-star meal.
Yeah.
I had to snake you a little bit.
The 5-star meal, I'm talking about steak, lobster, and it's for free. A free 5-star meal. That's
You
what
didn't say
that's
that.
what was said.
Yeah.
That's what was
You're-
said. A
I'm
free
paying
5-star
top
meal.
dollar for a 5
Yo,
star.
that feels nice because you got the money. You know what I mean? Yeah. So,
I can't believe I
remember
didn't
that.
take sex first
I
overall.
honestly,
If I had
we
sex, I
literally
would've
sat
won.
here and said
Yeah,
the
we said
number
out
one
loud the main
pick.
time. Yeah. Literally, we're like, sex?
Damn.
Not
And you're
me.
like, nah, I just gotta pee.
No, I have to. Like, you never had peeing?
No, but that first pee though, like after like it's
We're not
hurting
saying it's
to
not
the point where it's
not-
hurting, and
doesn't
you're
feel-
like,
it feels good,
You're
but
getting
like,
to the urinal. Like
No
you
one said.
cannot
No
wait.
one said dropping a deuce either.
A deuce.
Like when you really have. That's
a serious deuce.
No one said that.
I was
That's
trying to keep it
actually.
clean though.
I
you
know,
know,
but like
Trying to
you
keep
can't
moving
deny
first.
the feeling.
Yeah, that
can't
feeling.
deny
That's
the
a
feelings,
release. That's a release.
Good
Yeah.
draft. This is a good draft. I like
It
this
is.
draft.
It
Yeah.
is.
Okay, and I actually have a good thought of the day too. This is gonna be a good
So
episode.
this guy wants to go straight to the thought of the day.
Or what do you want
Whoa,
to
it's questions next, right?
do? Oh my.
You got a question?
No.
Let's
I
go
have
do
a
the
question.
thought. and
No,
we'll
actually,
ask a
sorry,
question.
I have a question. not
You
a
have a
thought.
question and a
I
thought?
misspoke. No, I have a question.
Bro, make
Okay.
up your
I
mind,
misspoke.
bro.
That's my bad. I have a
Okay.
question. My question
Yep.
is: if you were in charge of the universe,
Mm-hmm.
would you make an afterlife?
Mm.
That was my question. I didn't have a thought.
Okay.
I would say no,
Why would you say no?
because then you're looking forward to the afterlife instead of living your current life.
That's good. I mean, you can make an afterlife and not tell people there's an afterlife.
That now that's the thing. Do you tell people? Because I feel
You're
like a
in
lot of
charge. You're in
people
charge.
who
What
are
would you do?
I feel like a lot of people who are into religion and stuff. They're always looking towards the afterlife and doing
Facts.
everything for the afterlife instead of doing things that make you a good person today to the person beside you. You know what I mean? Knowing that you can go to confession and everything and like wipe your sins away kind of thing just so you can get to the afterlife, I kind of find that like funny.
Like
in my
it takes
opinion.
away from this life.
Yeah, that's why I'm not religious at all. Is because I just believe in being good to people
Yeah, just to
beside
be
you,
good
just
to
being a
people.
good person, bro.
Yeah.
It's like I don't have anyone look. It's not for anything. It's just to be a good person. And
I was
like,
actually
go
just to build on that. I was G checking the boy Kwame. Shout out to Kwame.
Shout out Kwame.
G checking them still because
G checking.
yeah, because I'm
do
like,
that.
yo, in the Bible it literally says like, don't forget to do good deeds unto others. Also, like God likes those, and they will get rewarded in the afterlife.
Exactly.
I'm like, so you're basically saying like in the Bible word for word it says just be good to people so you can get into heaven.
right.
I'm like, so
Is that
you can't.
selfish?
So does that mean that every act you do, you can't really do an altruistic act because you're always looking to
Altruist.
So
Say it
Like
again.
that, right? Altruistic, yeah,
that's
yeah,
hard.
That was
That's a
deep. That was deep.
deeper vocabulary.
You know what I mean? Yo, I would create mine would be. Have you ever seen The Good Place? Have you even seen
Yeah,
the show?
yeah. It's a good show.
It's a really good fun.
a good
It's a
show.
really funny show.
I like it.
So
about?
that's
Maria
how
got me into it.
Yeah,
so,
it's good. It's like sarcastic humor, and it's like I don't
Yeah.
know. I like it. Anyway, that's how I would create the afterlife, where it's a sense of like once you die, you have to like go up certain levels, and while you're going up those certain levels, you have to face the things that you are not the best at and work on them until you get to like the best or the highest level of the good place, where it's like everything you ever wanted in life is there, your family, your friends, and then when you're ready to actually like just be finished with life, then you can like go through the door and just be done with life, and then you're.
I don't know if she got it, but like
So
I'm
you
gonna
progress through
pretend.
the afterlife.
I'm gonna pretend like this is my thought, but it's actually Maria's thought, and I don't know if she got it from that, but
What's
she
your thought?
believes that we are living in hell right now.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
We're in
yeah,
hell. We
yeah.
haven't done enough in our previous lives to get us to up to heaven, and we're living in the hell right now.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
until you
Hell's
redeem
pretty
yourself and you get like out of
Yeah,
hell,
yeah.
that's when you get to the afterlife.
So-
Because bro, with the Balenciaga shit, with all these crazy things going on, bro,
Yeah,
nothing is like actual what we think it is. There's terrible things happening throughout this world.
So it doesn't get worse than this.
That's actually
No.
good. That's a really good.
Yeah,
I like
that's
that.
what
I like
she
that.
thinks,
And
which
it's.
that's what I think.
I mean, it's not wrong.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't, it's like,
But
I believe it.
My
still.
friend said, "This is hell."
No,
But
that's
yeah.
actually good. That's really good. So it's like not until you like reach that point of like getting
it's
through
like an
this level is
enlightenment
when
kinda
you'll
thing?
be.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but if you don't, then you get like I don't know what reincarnated or whatever it is to
you
like
come back to living in
yeah,
hell.
yeah, until
Yeah.
you can
And
finally
you
get out.
continuously live here
Until you get to the afterlife. Like the afterlife is, where you want to be, obviously, right? This is not where this is hell. There's no hell. This is hell.
So I was asking Eli this before, like, what's your opinion? If there was no afterlife, then life, then what happens?
Well, if I was in charge of the universe, I don't think I would make an afterlife because it almost makes this life meaningless.
That's right.
Because you're saying you're looking past this life. And I think the only reason this life has any value is because it's finite. But if you know there's an eternal afterlife, this life is not finite. It's just like being in the lobby before you go into the real afterlife.
Right.
Before you go, your afterlife becomes your actual life.
Yeah. It
So
kind of like takes away from accountability
It
too.
takes away from everything.
in
yeah.
the sense like, oh, if I don't do it right now, I'll do it in the afterlife.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, like, bro, you have to. The fact that you said it's
I don't think
finite.
anyone's ever said
Yeah,
that.
I know, but like the
God's
fact.
there, I'm gonna just be better. Trust me.
But like, yeah, the fact that it's finite, you have to really take
But that's
advantage
what
of the
I'm saying.
opportunities today.
Yeah.
You know,
And it makes it meaningful because I think the only thing in life is if there's infinite time, infinite space, the only thing that actually exists is the meaning of things. And if life is eternal, then it's not meaningful.
right,
Because it always is and always will be. Therefore, there's no need to give it any significance because it just is, you know?
Right.
But when it's finite, it is and it was. So therefore, you have to look at it as that. You know what I mean? You have to look at it as a controlled amount of time that you got to get the most out of.
So then what happens after you die?
Like in my beliefs?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not religious at all. And I think even the thought of an afterlife kind of makes me a little uncomfortable because, like Travis is saying, it's like you're only doing things to be good for the sake of going to heaven. You know what I mean? And I think that, you know, if I'm not religious, I don't believe in God, but if there is a God and he is all-knowing, almighty, and understanding, he knows exactly how you felt and exactly what circumstances put you in the situation in order for you to feel the need to sin.
right.
So the argument that was put out in front of me was like, yo, at the end of the day, you can do all the right things, but if you don't recognize the person that's created you and given you all these opportunities to do the right things, that's when you're doing the wrong thing.
And I disagree with that.
Oh, I do too, but
I
I'll
totally
play
disagree
devil's
with-
advocate just for the
play
argument.
devil's advocate.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if I was to say my own personal opinion, I totally disagree with that because I think someone who is all powerful, the feelings of man cannot have that much significance on them if they're all knowing, all powerful, omnipotent. You know what I mean? Like my devotion to you is not the deciding factor on whether or not I'm worthy. Because in my opinion, at least, right? Like I'm not Christian, so Christians will have a totally different feeling of this. But I feel like that's an ego and that's a very humanistic feeling. And I think to put us on that level is almost arrogant of us to say God has human-like emotions,
Agreed.
which is the need for worship and
So-
the need for praise. And
So
approval.
what they say is like, so think of it like your father, right? So it's just like, let's just say that you, like your father raised you, like wiped your diapers, did all these things for you. Like when you were a baby, you didn't even know what was going on, and like taught you everything you know and gave you the opportunity. Then all of a sudden you became some big, whatever it was, you know, like, or like did whatever in charity or whatever in the community.
Yeah.
But the whole time you're like, you know, like you never like shouted out like, yo, thanks to my pops for
Yeah.
holding it down for me, or like almost disowned them, or even said like, yo, shout out to my mentor Gerald. Your
Yeah,
dad's like,
yeah,
who the
yeah,
fuck is
yeah,
Gerald?
yeah.
Like I was wiping your diaper.
Giving
I
the wrong
taught gave you the book that even you know what I mean. But you're like, yeah, yo, shout out to Gerald for holding me down all these years. You know, and then you pass, and then you're like on your sick bed, you're on your deathbed, you're like, yo, like you know, I just want to say XYZ. And your dad's like, yo, fam, like for the last 80 years, you never shouted me out. You never gave me any credit. But for what I'm doing, so like forget everything you did. I don't know if I can forgive you because like not once did you say shout out to my dad. You said shout out to Gerald.
The fallacy in that argument is it gives God human-like emotion. It personifies God as if he is a man that needs these things, that needs acceptance, that needs validation, that needs approval. God, in his definition, is above and beyond understanding. So for us to humanize him, I think, if you believe in God as the omnipotent, all-powerful being, is almost disrespectful. In my opinion, I could be out of pocket for some Christians, and I don't mean to offend. Definitely. I don't mean to offend, but I feel like it is almost disrespectful to put him on our level and have, because that, what you just described, is a father needing validation for his efforts. But if you're a perfect being and a selfless father, you understand your son needed the diapers, he needed this, and you created him. You owe it to your son to be a present father and an active father.
So I'd say like the problem that happens is like if we're going to talk on this conversation, it's like we can only reference, or Christians can only reference what's seen in the Bible itself, right? So if the Bible says like, you know, like do everything, but understand that everything that you're capable of is because God is giving you the power and the opportunities and the values to be able to do it. And there's even stories in the Bible where it's like God will take away from those that don't, like that kind of the ego comes in the way, right? Yeah. So like it's kind of like you're at a point that you're saying like the ego, yourself, you have all the control and you're the one doing this, where it's like, yo, God's like,
it
actually
may not be that I have all the control,
but you're not giving praise
as a human
back to the person that gave you all the power to be able to have control.
But that's my point. He gave that power as a release. He didn't give it to get it back. And if that's what he did, then that's not my understanding of God. And as a person who's a non-believer, it taints my ability to praise.
And that's what it says. Like God is like God is a jealous God in the end of the day.
And
like God
I can't even fathom
like he wants like the praise towards like don't praise all these pagan gods or all these other gods. It's like I am the Father.
And
you know,
where did that feeling come from? Did that come from priests and
it came from the Bible itself, and like the Bible which was written saying that like, this is the word.
Written by who? And that's what I'm saying. We're putting the words into the mouth of something that we cannot understand. It's like me speaking for gravity. It's like me speaking for the wind. It's like
if God speaks to you directly in a dream and you put it in book, then what?
And then what's to say your word is not against mine? What if your dream said God's not a jealous man, and my dream is to say God is?
Did you put it in the book?
What I could write? What if I can read and write? And I was 2,000 years ago, and 85% of people can't read and write. So what if I was actually a prophet and I didn't have the capacity to record this information? I know God then would have made me capable of reading
of course,
and writing.
Like he would he would have, like, don't you feel like as powerful as God is, he would make sure that the person that gets the message is the person that can read and write?
As powerful as God is, I think if he wanted the message to be clear, we would all understand the message.
And that's why he put it in a book, so we can all understand it.
Or we can all interpret it as we do, as humans do. And it's a flawed.
It's written right there in front of us.
And as humans are flawed,
himself.
Our interpretations are flawed. And that's the one thing we can all guarantee. If you are a believer, we all believe we are imperfect, right?
Yeah.
And if I'm following and worshiping the word of an imperfect person, who is the writer of the Bible, because he is not Jesus, he is not God, he is not Allah, he is not any of these omnipotent beings, that individual was imperfect. So if I'm trying to live my life as a perfect being from imperfect words, I feel like there's a fallacy in the entire approach of how I'm trying to live my life. And I'm dedicating my one singular life that's finite and precious to me to an imperfect man's words. Though if you feel like those words are divine from God, why are they not coming directly from God? Why are they passing through an imperfect vessel?
Because how can God
through my dreams? He's omnipotent. He can touch my soul.
So that's what I'm saying. He through his dreams he is, and he's saying like you need to spread this word to more, because not everyone is a believer. So not everyone can connect directly to God himself. So he's saying, but you're a strong believer. You're one of the angels that have been fighting and believing this. So let me pass you this word so you can put in the book so others can understand. Yeah. And then people are saying, well, you know, like who's that guy that wrote? So he's the guy that wrote from the word of God.
I wrote on this topic, and one of my big issues with religion is it on the individual to inquire or for God to inspire? Right?
What was your answer?
And I think it's for God to inspire
How?
as the creator.
Well, if he's trying to inspire,
Because
nobody's listening. Then what
has
can he
the
do?
power.
He's trying.
Listen, like you call
if
him.
you don't believe, if you don't believe in God, or if you don't believe in Casper, and Casper trying to talk to you, it doesn't matter. He's not going to exist in front of you
But
because he's not there.
That's my
so
point.
if you don't believe in God,
if you look at it as a father and son relationship,
if you don't believe
right?
in him, how's he going to talk to you?
Listen to what I'm saying. If you believe in it as a father and son relationship, is it on the father to instill these values, or is it on the son to admire everything the father does until he instills those values? It's on the father as the one who has the knowledge, as the one who has the experience, as the one who chose.
But there's almost so
listen,
think
hold
about.
on, hold on. Let me finish this thought. As the one who chose to create this life, right? So the father, the actual act of inspiring the youth is on the father because of who he is in the dynamic of the relationship.
Okay, so think about that from like your real personal life. Like, how much are we going to listen to our parents versus listen to other people? My dad could have told me every single thing to exactly do right in life, and I probably wouldn't listen to 90% of it because he's my dad. Like, I'm not listening to this guy. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, imagine that from my dad is physical, like, in my life. Like,
he's imperfect.
had to clean my diaper, like, you know, pick me up from school when I needed, like, all those, like, in my life. He's in person. And I barely listen to him.
Yeah, he's
So
imperfect.
what are the chances I'm going to listen to God, who I can't even see?
Because he's perfect. And if you have faith in any God at all, you
So
understand.
what if I don't have faith? If you don't have faith, you're not going to hear him. You're not going to listen to him. So what's he going to do? He has to push his word through those that do have faith. And then the problem is that the people that don't have faith aren't even going to listen to that person that has faith.
And my beef is not that his word is wrong. It's that those who it's filtered through and are interpreting the words are imperfect.
Well, the people
they cannot direct
Agreed.
translate. They cannot direct translate. So there are thoughts and things lost in translation. Because these people are humans.
Would we
regular,
say all of them?
imperfect
Because like, there's some people that just write it down. They don't want to interpret. They're just like, God gave me this message. I just want to put it in a book.
I
That's
still
it.
think it's
and then like
because even in
everybody
language-
else is gonna. So what if God passes a message and says, literally write, I am who I am, and he puts, I am who I am, and then 5,000 years later, somebody, well, not 5,000, so it would be after Christ. So we'd say 2022.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
2,000 years later, someone interprets it as whatever they want to. Doesn't mean the person that read it was wrong. So it can be interpreted word for word. But the people that have interpreted it over the last 2,000 years have taken it for whatever
But
they want.
even
That's like
myself-
I who
Listen,
I
even
who.
I
You know?
reading any sentence in the English language, I have to make an interpretation.
See, and that's because you don't have faith.
No, listen to what I'm saying.
But if you
though.
had faith, you could just believe that those words were actually
hear
written
what
with the
I'm
purest
saying,
hand
hear
of
what I'm
God.
saying. Interpretation is inevitable. It's unavoidable.
Well, it's unavoidable
Hear
for
me.
the imperfect
Mike, hold on,
human.
hear me. Listen to what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Listen to what I'm saying. If you write a paragraph,
Yep.
no matter what, us three with our different life experiences
Yes.
read it with a different bias.
Yes.
Listen, hold on.
I'm saying yes. I
with
just said
a
yes.
different bias. I can see you revving up.
I just said yes.
You read it with a different bias because we all have different experiences, right? So even if you write a simple sentence like "I am what I am,"
Yep.
all three of us get a different message.
Yep.
So if God's message was intended to be direct, we would all understand it the same way. But even if no one else interprets it and we all read that same paragraph, in our brains we have a different experience. So no matter how direct the message is, it's still open to our imperfections.
Yes, it's open to. I 100% agree.
30
It doesn't
seconds.
mean that the words themselves are imperfect. The words are God's words, and then we digest them how we want to digest them.
Exactly.
But if we just stopped and we just said these are the words, then we would actually be able to read the word of God.
And I think you could read the word of God, but it's your own imperfections are impure. So
Yes.
and impure. in the sense of
Agreed. It's human.
God's
you're
words.
right.
God's
it's
words
funny
are
because
purity.
like, I was gonna throw a question of the day in today, and we're not
it,
gonna
say
do
it,
it
say it.
anymore.
Move into it.
But like literally, my question of the day, I was thinking
We
this
can
while.
do it, use it for the next one though.
Yeah,
Okay,
save
fair.
it. Save it.
Save it? Okay. Go ahead.
We gotta rate
then-
this.
All right, we'll rate the beers.
Yeah.
You're half full beer.
Yeah. I barely drank this. I was spitting track. They're spitting facts. I was spitting all over the mic too. That's funny.
All right, Carlsberg, Danish.
Carlsberg. I'll start my rating. I'm gonna give it a 5.
Wow. Yeah.
Literally a 5 flat. No, the 5.0 if we have to.
I didn't like
It's
it.
just like an average
It
average
is.
beer.
I'm gonna give it a 6.2 because I think it's an average beer.
Average beer.
5.8.
5.8.
I did not like it.
It's just a regular
It's
beer.
just regular. Yeah.
The Bible is God.
Yeah, I know. I apologize for my words.
No, honestly though, but like the whole issue I have with the whole like I've always
supposed to
said
be
it.
signing up,
I know.
Loki.
I've always had it. It's like, bro, why do I have to go to church when I'm a good person? And I go to
Facts.
church and I see people sleeping in church.
Facts.
And then it's like, you guys are going to church because you think that's going to get you to the afterlife. When
Facts.
in reality, there's a lot of Catholic priests that are raping children. And because they go to church and shit, they're going to go to heaven. And I'm a good person and I'm not going to heaven because I don't want to go to church.
But I think, that's the disassociation between religion and your belief. Because you can have a belief in something and have a relationship with that thing without following the religion. I think religions are damn near cults.
If I'm gonna go, okay, so I 100% agree that religion,
there's some stupid
questionable.
rules in religion. It's
I
just
also
rules.
think like the biggest problem with religion is the beliefs itself, like the belief system. I was actually reading a book on this in terms of like the belief system. Sometimes we have such a belief system that we ingrain it into our core that we're not even able to listen when someone brings something else to the table.
Yeah.
Like literally, it's like, yo, this is my belief, and that's just what
That's
it is.
it.
It's like if we shift our, like if we just acknowledge it's a belief and we kind of be open, it can actually change and provoke more conversation.
Right.
Like you're
You know?
separate from your belief.
Yeah, it's that. It's belief and it's a human.
Yeah.
But for some reason, people
You're
combine
playing
them.
devil's advocate for that whole argument.
for
Yeah,
the,
like, that's not
no,
your
no, no,
actual
no, no. That's my belief. That's my belief.
This guy trying to get fake clout. Like that's what we're talking about. Fake clout.
God is love.
Yo, I'm just an
Be loud
intellectual.
as
I just
hell.
be debating for
God
no
is
reason.
love.
I'm an intellectual.
No, but
you're
honestly,
playing-
I would
so
play
you're
devil's advocate.
disassociated
Yeah,
from your belief.
100%. I
Just for the
have
sake
no
of conversation,
beliefs because
yeah.
I like hearing. I like fighting one point just to hear other people's points.
Yeah.
And like it's actually interesting because I was able to fight that. Like I actually believe in it. I'm like, literally, I'm just fighting.
Yeah,
Like, what?
and the thing
if,
is, like-
if you were like a heavy, like if you're on the other side, if you're Muslim, if you're like whatever, if you're like Christian, if you're a Judas, I would same thing. I just argue just to see like where's your mind.
I don't
at?
actually disbelieve in anything. You know, I just don't firmly believe in anything. So I'm sort of in. I don't know what that's called, but I'm not against anything, and I'm not for anything. There's a word for it.
Somebody told me
Agnostic.
it's agnostic. There it is.
Okay,
Yeah,
so that's what I am.
There it is.
That's what
There
I
it
am.
is.
Because
agnostic.
if I would go to any church with anybody, I would listen to any
Exactly,
conversation. I would listen to any
Literally.
well-read, understood person,
Literally.
or actually, I would listen to anybody on that topic and hear what you say. But if I don't feel personally inspired, I'm not going to make that leap.
Yo, I'll tell you my personal opinion. My personal issue is I have a bunch of the issues when it comes to religion, but one of them is like I don't feel like it's right to call God God. Like, because what happens is like we call a God him. And like who are we to put a pronoun on this thing that's supposed to be omnipresent?
God
Yeah.
could be
Like
a woman.
if we can't say a word to describe it, then maybe we just don't say a word to describe
Yeah,
it.
honestly,
Like first of all, we can't give
honestly,
a
sexist.
name God. Like it's Mark, John, Michael, Joseph,
Yeah.
God. Like well, what are we talking about? Like who are we
It
to put a human
humanize-
name?
it humanizes
We literally
it.
I don't like the
humanize them, and
humanizing
like
God,
even if
yeah.
you look at cartoons or movies or whatever, they put a face on it. It's like yo, what are we doing? This is
Yeah.
the omniscient,
Yeah, I think
omnipresent like kind of thing, and
the
we're
fault of the
we're
patriarchy.
making it him. And
Yeah,
I'm like yo,
no.
and I was telling this to my boy too. I was like yo, listen, like here's the problem. Like every society and era that the Bible was written, it was written when there was a patriarchy. It was written when there was like a male in charge.
hate that shit.
You think
No, I'm with you, bro. I'm feeling you. Yeah.
you
with
think a male would allow God to be a female? Of
course not.
realistically,
Of course
Like,
not.
come on now.
Too insecure.
And then, like, even when it comes to religion
Small dick
itself, like,
energy.
we have Lutheranism, we have this, we have that. Like, they're all like sections of religion that are taken and created for like the preference of whoever the male is. Like, realistically, like, think about like even like when it comes to like marriage and weddings, and that's a whole nother conversation. But like, think about it. It's like literally, I feel like marriage, weddings, having a child, all that kind of stuff was created by a guy that was just mad salty.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, someone took my girl. All right, so this is gonna be the law now.
Wait, what do you mean? Like, what do
yo,
you mean?
like, no, literally.
Wait,
like,
hold on. Save this, bro. Thought of the day.
like,
This is a good.
This is a good thought of the day.
Save
This is a good
You're
thing.
about to go
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Nah, like,
This is
nah,
after
like,
hours
this,
stuff.
this is how we get canceled.
Let's
But
get
yo,
into it. Let's get
so
into
we
the
get
next.
ca-
Yeah,
I know,
let's
but
get
yo,
into it.
honestly,
Hey, yo, I'm gonna
fuck the patriarchy,
Yo, we'll pick up
Yo,
on
all
this
right, we got your
next
boy
episode.
Trav, we got your boy Eli, it's your boy Mike. We just here
Yeah,
for the
the
beer.